Welcome to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP.
Something funny?
I don't know. It's just I'm laughing at ourselves today.
Are you?
I wish people could see what happens before the cameras turn on. And
Like maybe we should have one of those spider monkey cameras that's just kind of at the top watching the all-seeing eye, but no sound.
Yeah. No sound.
No sound.
it's funny. It makes me giggle. Anyway,
It's like activity before your child's birthday. I have one with the birthday today. And you run around like a crazy person maybe the day of or the day before. That's like us the 5 minutes before the show.
yeah. And then everybody walks in the front door and you're like, hey, I've had it together all day long. So that's what we're like. It's a total chaos. I just changed clothes in the attic.
I've had electricians at my house all day. I ordered groceries on the wrong credit card of my daughter's sorry child. I canceled it. I ordered from Instacart. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Maybe I'll start recording pre-show and during breaks, and then one day we'll do a time lapse like sped up with like the.
Oh, that would be
Yes.
good. I think it actually would be some good, not TV because we're not on TV, but I think it would be some good content
Or
Be
are
funny
we?
for sure.
just to see. Oh, we might be.
It would literally be y'all sitting in a chair for the segment, and then right when the segment ends, it's just. Meanwhile, I'm sitting right here typing.
It's true.
JP doesn't move.
Typing cat.
I get up. I got to hang some things and make some coffee. We do a lot. We get a lot done during the show. Anyway,
Yep.
how are y'all today?
Well, we had
Good.
fun last night.
We did have fun last night.
There's so many things to talk about
We're
after
just party
last night.
people.
Okay.
Party people.
So we got to talk about that.
I brought our cute little gifts. This was the last one. But it's a little cookie decorating kit so we can make cookies. Everybody can have a
Can
snack.
we make, oh, good.
There's actually a little container of sprinkles.
Listen, we went to a fun party
Look
last
how
night
It
at a
was.
fun location. Are we allowed to say?
Homemade by Heart. I don't know who Heart is. That must be
I
her
love
last
Heart.
name.
I love
she
Heart.
was in the cute little apron.
Oh my word. Your cookies, homemade by Heart, are outstanding. Sugar cook. I wait all year for Christmas for sugar cookies. I am addicted to them. I'm in search of the perfect recipe for sugar cookies. Yours were perfect. Okay. I wish that
They
I
have
could have shaken.
almond in them.
That's
They
what
smell
Chris
so
said.
good.
They taste
Mm.
like birthday cake, like that little hint of almond that
I didn't even eat any of
savages.
those.
I'm
Do you
really
want me to
sorry.
make you one?
Allison's gonna make you one.
I
Yes.
can pretend I'm
It's-
in the kitchen.
Yeah, we're
Make it
not
live.
women. We're just making cookies because we're friends. Okay, this is what they gave all the people at the party last night. This little gift box. Okay, all the people.
Except I didn't grab one.
Did you have
She
the pudding? The pudding was so good.
Okay,
And I'm not a huge pudding fan.
I don't like peppermint in
Oh,
my
that was your
well,
problem.
I don't like peppermint in my dessert. I like peppermint in my toothpaste and my gum. I don't want dessert to
You-
be peppermint.
you
So
just-
I didn't like the peppermint pudding, but that's just because bias.
It was chocolate pudding with peppermint crushed on top.
I know, but the peppermint soaked into the
Sucked
pudding.
into
It
the-
was it was contaminated. By
I
the
didn't have
peppermint.
those. Only had the cookies, and I love them. I want the recipe.
The food itself was great too.
Food was really good. The chicken was.
Yep.
I don't know who made it, where it was catered in from, but man, that was good.
Do you think it's time? Theo Vaughn went on with Tucker Carlson. Did y'all see that? And Tucker called himself fat, and Theo said, "You're not fat. You're just like Christmas chubby."
Yeah,
Should we call ourselves Christmas chubby after all the partying?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
We've had a lot of our party season ended last night,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is saying a lot because the Shavers don't go to a lot of Christmas parties, but we did this year.
I have another one to go to tonight.
I
Which is
love
why
your,
I had to
I
change
love
the
your
attic.
dress. It's
My unironed dress. It's
but
what
you could
it's where
pretend
we
that
are
it's
in
the
life.
fabric, you know, I mean, I really like it.
The extent of my parties was going to my big family Christmas party on my dad's side. That's it. So I'm partied out.
When is that? Or you already did that?
No. Well, this
Okay.
year it's this upcoming weekend, but that is normally the extent of my Christmas parties, the family Christmas party, and that's it. So
It's very fun to go to Christmas parties. Everybody's in a good mood.
Mhm.
Birthday parties, you know, they can be, well, this child is very excited for her birthday. So, but you know, sometimes as you get into to be an adult, you're like, nah, it's your birthday. Christmas, however, people are always in a good mood.
mhm.
Truly.
It's that time of the year.
But last night, before we get to all the things today, and there is a lot of news and there's an update and Trump's talk, and we need to talk about that and some other things. What I want to talk about two things. One is that we ended up at the bar. And that sounds
Okay.
like we bellied up to the bar
Well, we kind
for
of
our
were.
drink, but we just were getting a Christmas cocktail, one, and we were picking
Yeah.
because the menu was cute, and we're on one side, and it's kind of cordoned off, and so the rest of the public was still in this beautiful, fun location, and they were on the other side, but we were right next to each other, and in true form, we just struck up a conversation because that's what people do when you stand in line waiting for your beverage. And we met the most fun people who were just outside of our party.
They could have been part of our party.
They were
They were
super fun. And then, Allison, what happened?
Well, we were just like, you know how you meet some people and you just click?
Yes.
And you just kind of click, like you get each other's humor, and Courtney was just so fabulous. Like everything about her was fabulous. You looked at, like, she was dressed perfectly, and she had, anyway, so we start talking and we are just like, she's picking up everything we're putting down.
Just funny.
And we're like, this is awesome. And then her nephew or
Yeah.
somebody comes over that was in her party, and
Cousin, nephew, we don't
yeah,
know.
we start talking and we're all having fun. And then it comes out that he's a lobbyist. And we're like, oh, okay,
All right.
okay, all right. Who do you lobby for? Okay.
Ooh.
And we veered into the political discussion. And then she said, we're not talking politics. We're not talking politics. So somehow we were like, okay, so what are you doing for Christmas? Point is, it was a good reminder of we're really not each other's enemies. Like, there's got to be, because we had so much fun
We really did.
just in the 10 minutes we were standing there.
It always happens that way.
So we actually really like each other. We have very different opinions, I'm guessing, on some policy issues and things.
Mhm.
But like, how do we reconcile that in 2025? Like, I really like you. I guess we just can't talk politics.
I think right now, unless we are all open-minded as to having the discussion, the wisest thing is to go, you know what? Nope. Just like that. What happened? But you hate it because it was just like cartoon breaks on a cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to still like you, and we're just going to move on.
I actually think I have a sound effect of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, and then they said they were going to listen to the show. And then I go, oh,
You know what? I had that conversation with somebody else last night. We're going to listen.
Yeah. Well, it's Allison, you've said this from time to time, and I think it's true that sort of the Democrats of old like the Republicans and Democrats of old wanted the same thing. We just had different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
I think the growing number of just the crazy leftists I think that number is growing, but still the old school Democrats are still out there. Like, not every leftist is I want to kill you leftist. And I think it's important to remember that, because, you wouldn't even know that they were, had the beliefs that they did until they mentioned it, and you were getting along just fine before that. So I think it is important to go into conversations with, the best intentions, and assuming the other person is not, some evil monster, even if they disagree with you politically. But like, even my friends, like one of my best friends from high school is a Mamdani liberal guy. Like, we disagree completely, but we don't say a peep about politics when we hang out.
Yeah.
It's great. He's like my brother. So it's still possible, It's just the people that were the Democratic Party is their God. And there's some where the GOP is their God.
Yes.
And you go against that, you're going against God. But I think it is important to remember that not everybody's like that.
You know what? The other part of it is, as you're talking, I'm thinking one of the reasons why we want to see where people stand politically is if you dare venture in that territory, it's because part of it is, well, I like this person so much and they seem to like me back. Surely we think the same way. and you kind of want to bond over it. It's like another level. You're taking your relationship to the next level instantly. And then you go, ooh, we can't. Because you realize ultimately, on those things, you really don't want to fight and you are going to disagree. So just leave that out. But it also shows just how important those views are. But it doesn't mean that the person's the enemy. But you really want to bond, but you realize, ooh, we can't bond. We're just going to have to bond somewhere else.
Yeah. And it was a good, we tried to FaceTime one of our mutual friends. It's a legislator, and they didn't answer. And so anyway, it was just kind of funny. We're like, oh my gosh, I love him. I love him. Blah. And so we're this is even after I found out we're probably on different sides of the aisle. And so we continue to have fun, but I think you have to think big picture. You have to remain calm, and but you also have to hold firm. Because I started thinking, oh gosh, if they watch the show,
they're never going to talk to us again.
But I would hope that they would actually want to have more conversation with us. But I think that's the hard part, especially if it's family or close friends, where you start to kind of shrink back from what you believe and maybe not speak as much truth, maybe sugarcoat it just a little bit. And that's what you can't do. Doesn't mean you have to be mean.
You don't have to initiate it.
Right.
That's right.
But if it comes up, you got to be prepared. But anyway, we had a lovely time. I know we got to take a break. And it was a lot of fun. And I always enjoy. Remember when we went to the State House and we did the radio show that time from the State
It was
House?
a blast.
And was it Smitherman or Singleton that came in? That was a riot.
Bobby.
Okay. Hysterical.
But both men are hilarious.
Really funny. And so anyway, it gave me hope. We had fun over a Christmas cocktail.
It was
We
great.
bonded.
It was great.
Across
So, hey,
the
friends,
aisle.
if you're watching,
Yeah.
it was nice to meet you last
We
night.
should hang out again. All right, we're gonna take a break, get back with some news, montage. I don't know. Do we still have to talk? Dale Jackson, we had a deep conversation with him last night about how you exit a party. Maybe we'll cover that on the other side. We'll be right back.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. We're Rightside
Blah, blah,
Radio.
blah, blah. Get to the cookies.
You know. All right. Listen. So I've decided. I've declared, decreed. So starting in the new year on Friday, we're gonna have some spider monkey camera put somewhere, and on Fridays we'll watch the activity. Okay. Only on Fridays. We're gonna do like Rush did, and he just like clicked the cameras on for the universe. All right. That's number one. Number
Only
two.
on Fridays he did.
Well, everybody else had
Sound
to
like
be a
Yoda.
subscriber, but for us, that's the only amount of like exposure we can handle. We can't handle it
We can't.
because in this break, you would have seen Allison Sinclair decorate cookies. And may we have a moment of silence for cookies by heart, homemade by heart.
Homemade by heart. I don't know if you're in Montgomery. You need to look her. Okay, now don't. That's terrible decorate. And you ate the angel's arm.
I did, yeah.
JP. Okay, then so in the little cookie packet, we had red and green icing, but I didn't want to do that because then our mouths would be red and green.
Which would be awkward. And we're not five
and
anymore,
nobody
so it's
wanted
not cute.
sprinkles. So anyway, homemade by heart. Find
My
her.
family follows her. I need to know more about her.
She's really good.
Okay, so in honor of Dale Jackson, what's the right way to exit a party?
To ghost.
Okay.
Oh, are you an
You
Irish
just-
goodbye?
Oh,
I'm the king of
Are
Irish
you a
goodbyes.
deer?
100%.
Wait.
I
Are
am,
you
yeah.
saying you're gone?
I'm the king
You
of
turn
those.
around, you're like, what the crap?
yeah.
Mhm.
I think that is the most merciful way to leave a party.
Mhm.
Because think about that. Like last night, if that's your organization and everybody comes up to you and says bye, that's all you're doing is saying bye. So I figure I'm doing everybody a service by just leaving. One less person you have to talk to.
Okay, well, so I only do this to people I know and like, but I hate fist bumping. And I feel like the best way is just high five, which brings back my age. I don't really care because I think you're kind of a dork if you fist bump, unless you're a dude and you can like, y'all always try to figure out how hard you can smash
you
your
gotta blow it
fist
up.
and then you blow it up. This is not what we do. But my version of I think you're cool is a high five. And we high five a lot around my house, but that's what I do. Like, I don't even have to talk to you. I'm just like,
Yep.
okay, out.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm out.
Oh, so that's your,
That's
you don't
my
even say bye.
version.
That's like pass you on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good times. Neat.
Well, even Dale brought up how the high five is much more intimate than the fist bump.
The fist bump is from the COVID crazies.
Dale doesn't seem to be one that would appreciate intimate
Yeah.
anything.
And
Yeah.
yet we had great conversations.
Mhm.
He's a fun guy. And I don't mean fun guy.
Mhm.
I mean a fun guy. Thank you. Thank you, JP.
Just got it.
So anyway, all right. So y'all are dippers.
Well,
And I'm a high fiver.
Well-
And my husband is a dipper though.
I
He's
just
like,
got
y'all,
some news.
what?
This cute girl that made the cookies is 18 years old.
wow.
She's got a future.
Very
Anyway,
good cookies.
somebody needs to call her and back her.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
is she actually in Montgomery?
Yeah.
You know, my wedding cakes were from Montgomery and they don't make them as wedding cakes anymore. You can like get them and then just stack them yourself.
Okay, I'm
Good
sorry. Keep going.
desserts-
Goodbye.
Good desserts come out of Montgomery. That's all I'm going to say. So, all right. So Chris is a ghoster. Like he's I've had enough. I'm going over here to the side. Like, see you people out. So I guess we're kind of,
How do you ghost when you're like 9 feet tall?
Yeah.
you just quietly walk to the door and wait. And the wife feels the weight. He's WAITING.
She's just all over it today.
Weight of his.
Oh.
Let's go. I'm like, well, I have to have a conversation about how you goodbye.
Yeah.
No.
So like if I'm directly talking to people, I'm a handshake as I leave. Or if you're my friend, it's a dap up and hug. But if like my friends would get mad at me because whenever we were in big gatherings with a bunch of people, like I would just have a moment where like I kind of just want to go home and look around and everybody's just like talking to each other. I'm just like, just turn and leave.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. But
It
if
is
I'm
a good way to
if
do
I'm
it.
directly talking to somebody and want to leave, it's a nice to see you. Nice to see you. Shake hands, leave. But yeah, an Irish goodbye it's so fun too. You know, it's like you feel like you're like sneaking out and nobody's,
Mhm.
noticing. It's fun.
If you're with a +1, sometimes Jared and I have to coordinate. So it's not so obvious. Like you go out the front door, I'll go out the back door.
Yeah. Now we've coordinated before.
You act
which
like
is
you go
super
into
fun.
the bathroom. I'll act like I'm going to get another drink. And
Allison, you ghosted me the time I hosted the Christmas party.
of course I did.
But I thought we were friends.
Hey, that means we're really tight. It's
Yes.
like your best friends that you can insult and make fun of.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't do that to people you don't like.
Okay. I accept
Yeah.
that. I accept that.
So,
Okay.
or the party's really lame. I don't know. 6, 7.
Oh
Which
my
one was
gosh.
it?
Oh, what a way to end the segment.
Okay, I promise we have talked nothing nonsense. This was the Seinfeld half hour. We'll be back with a montage, lots of news. Oh, we got a new segment at 3:00. Don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Rightside Radio, where we may be fueled by sugar. No one knows yet what's going to happen, but we're just going to go right to the montage, JP. Although I do have to tell you that we were looking up Homemade by Heart, and we are now obsessed with her. And I'm going to need to find some more cookies and cakes for us.
Well, if you're looking, it's on Instagram. It's Homemade by Heart 2, the number 2.
Her wedding cakes are ridiculous.
How
Ridiculous.
God just gives some people talents.
I hope she's just baking.
And making good food, let me tell you. That's a required
I wonder
talent.
if she has a...
Oh, don't do it, Abs. Don't do it.
I'm not going to mom you. Okay.
And on that
She
note,
was cute. I
She
saw her
was
last
real
night.
I'll
cute.
take y'all's word for it.
You didn't.
How did you miss her?
I mean, I may have seen her.
Just
You
a
saw
doll.
her. You didn't.
I
know.
probably
Just
saw
a
her.
doll.
Didn't
Okay.
know.
Bravo, Homemade by Heart. Bravo.
And on that note, it's time for the montage. Just means I got to tell you all about attorney Stan McDonald, who's a 30-year veteran in the practice of law in North Alabama. Not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he has been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside Ruffian community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. And when Stan McDonald is on your side, you will have no greater friend, and likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. So attorney Stan McDonald, here's his phone number, 256-533-0202. That's Stan McDonald, 256-533-0202. And tell him you heard about it on Rightside Radio. And no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Michael Hughes.
Over the summer, radical left human rights groups demanded Brown disable their security cameras so Palestinian activists could raise hell under the radar. Did they cave? We asked. No response.
And that's all part of the interviews, and actually we're cooperating with Brown to get the roster. That was a study hall, so we don't have the number. We're still getting information as far as who was there. I know Brown sent out an email to the students to notify us if they were present, and we're still getting that, so I can't give you an exact account now.
In the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. In my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett, leaving the House floor. Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill on making sure doctors can't castrate your children. That's freaking demonic, what they're doing, and just puts it into law. Hope the Senate will take it up. I thought it was a good bill on her part. The majority of the Democrats, of course, voted to allow doctors to castrate children without parental consent. Unbelievable.
Even for Republicans, this is extreme. Are we really attempting to lock up parents and doctors? Your kids' medical care is none of their damn business. We should call this obsession with your kids and what treatment they're getting in the pediatrician's office what it is. It's creepy. It's a creepy obsession, and we've had to deal with it for years.
Wow.
That's a real person.
She's real.
She's in Congress.
Yeah, let's say not even just a person, a legislator.
Okay, I've never heard. Do you know her name?
Rebecca Balint.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's so funny that they want to be able to do all the sex stuff behind the doors, and then like they use that argument when it suits their purpose. They're never consistent about that argument, are they? Ever. And then she says being concerned about children is creepy. You're the creeper,
Yeah.
Rebecca.
It's projection.
Your suit's beautiful, but you're the creeper. I'm sorry.
I think that's very rich that she said what they're doing in their pediatrician's office is creepy. If you're upset, but all right, let's go back to COVID. How much did you want parents creepy and obsessed with vaccinating your kids and all? I mean, they are such hypocrites and such liars. And half of America is like, yeah, you're right. Somebody else should be in charge. My 14-year-old, okay, I guess 14-year-olds can get tattoos. Is that the
With a parental, well, I actually don't know. I think with a parental approval, you can look that
yeah,
up.
but I'm thinking like they want y'all. It's not even logical anymore. There are rules. They're wanting to do all the. I'm at a loss for words. She really threw me off right there.
Well,
Because anyway,
and my understanding of the bill is doctors can't do it without parental consent. And like, so if that's the case, it's not even going as far as Republicans want. Like, how about we just ban child mutilation, period? But even with the extent that this law is going to go, and so now you're saying even parents can't tell doctors no. So if you're a parent and you can't decide what happens to your child, then what even are you? Are you just the person that birthed a child and that's it? You go on and like that is creepy. That is wrong. So like I said, if this law, which like I said, I can do some more digging, but from what I've seen, literally it just makes it to where doctors cannot mutilate children without, parental knowledge. So like that. So you're really just saying parents have no control over their kids' lives, period. Like if you're 8 and you feel like a dinosaur one day, the doctor can put a tail on you or something. Like you're not even making any sense. But the projection, like what Amy Beth said, when they're calling others creepy, no, you wanting children to change their sex and literally have like demonic child mutilation on an altar, that is creepy. So it's all just projection and it's gross. But
thinking about how many dumb decisions, not you in particular, I'm thinking of myself, but how many dumb decisions you made as a teenager. Like there's your frontal lobe, all that's not developed. There's a reason teenagers are silly and like make horrible, risky, terrible decisions that we all look back on and we're like, now this is an option.
mm-hmm.
And in your lowest moments, your most vulnerable, hormonal, confusing, I don't care who you are. It is a very insecure time. It is a very, you're questioning everything, even the coolest kids in the room. But imagine if this was something that was presented as an option, not only an option, but championed and you are super great. This is awesome. This is what you do. If you want to be somebody, if you want to stand up for all of the people that are disenfranchised and oppressed, this is what you do. You need to be a beacon of hope. What? You can't, your body is wrecked after it. Wrecked. You can try and go back. Remember, no, you weren't there. It was in DC one time when I met Chloe Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Bless her heart. She transitioned to a male, tried, and then tried to detransition. She will never be the same. And to hear her speak and talk about how she'll never be able to have kids and how her body is just literally chopped and butchered and mutilated. And her parents and doctors, basically, she said, nobody put up any roadblocks for me. Not once.
Yep. And that's where the reaffirming of delusion in children. You don't need somebody to come along and say, it's normal if you think you're a girl. It's normal if you think you're suicidal. No, they need structure and,
It's amazing. So if you want to read more about it, Abigail Schreier's book, Bad Therapy, is unbelievable. She talks about the fact that before 2012, there was like one gender affirming clinic, and now there are hundreds. Europe is going to shut them down. And here it's a fight that this Rebecca Balint thinks it's creepy that we're interested in not allowing children to wreck their bodies. But the other thing is, do these children know that when they die, they're still going to be classified as male or female? Like their DNA will still suggest one or the other. So no matter what you try to run from, you're still only going to be a boy or a girl, period, at the end. That's what they're going to have to mark on your death certificate. But more than that, what Abigail said that I was looking up really quickly is a simple thought, but it is profound because it's running through all the things. We are teaching children only science can fix you now. And you're going to be a science experiment for the rest of your life. Not only do you need them because you needed the drugs, because you're unhappy, so let's hook you early on Ritalin, or we're going to get you on some antidepressant because nobody's actually going to tell you the truth. Can they be useful in certain circumstances? Obviously. But beyond that, then you go into affirming that, oh, yes, for sure, you can chop off your genitals. You can just do whatever you want. We have no right to get upset with what people who believe in gender mutilation surgery, for example, in Africa, still do, if we think that this is okay.
Good point.
But what we're doing in the US is we're saying, you're a science experiment and only science and the experts can fix you now. When in reality, as we all know, it makes it much, much worse, and we're wrecking children permanently. And then we act surprised when they come back years later and go, why did you do that? Why did you give me prescriptions for hormone therapy and you didn't even ask? Or you tried to trans me behind my parents' back and never even let them know. Like, this is beyond. But the concept of the only science can fix you now, that's what's wrong with our culture.
It makes me so sad, JP. Like, you're probably the cusp, the upper limit of the didn't grow. Or when did you get a cell phone? Do you remember not having a smartphone?
So the iPod, Apple came out with the iPod, which is pretty much just a phone that you can't call on. And I think I got my first one of those when I was like 12. And I grew up with an iPad. So I kind of grew up with the rise of technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these kids that have grown up with this subject so just flippantly discussed and tossed around on social media, it makes me sad, because I think about, like, if you go to a prison and you poll the prisoners, how many of you were told when you were growing up that this is where you were going to end up? And like 90% of them will raise their hands, because the power of suggestion is so powerful. And that's exactly what these kids are going through. And someday they're going to turn around and go, why did nobody stand in the gap for me? Why did nobody speak up for me? It makes me so sad. The cookie in this topic is just,
well, so to add
to
add some details to the bill. So, well, first of all, this is a liberal. It's from the 19thnews.org. It says this: the American Civil Liberties Union says it's the most extreme anti-trans legislation ever considered by Congress. It would put doctors in jail for up to 10 years if they provide gender-affirming care to minors, including prescribing hormone replacement therapy to adolescents or puberty blockers to young kids. This bill also aims to halt gender-affirming surgeries on minors. And then they had to add the caveat, which is rare. Okay. But it says this, Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is her bill, said that this would make it a Class C felony to trans a child under 18.
Good. Go to jail.
Yeah. So like, it's just one of those things where you read it and you're like, duh. But then they're fighting it so hard, the left. It just shows you how far off the rails the left has gone to where this is controversial. Seriously.
And if you're on the left and you're not this way, please speak up. You know, I mean, please. It's nonsensical, but it's also, sin is insane. That's all.
imagine how much they would be championing these penalties and jail time and all these fines if like a doctor put a child in conversion therapy or something.
Oh,
Or maybe a doctor said, no, I'm not turning you into a boy.
Right.
Yeah. They'd want, let's put him in the town square, this guy, this anti-trans guy. Yeah. I agree.
Gets me going. Okay, we got to take a break, and we will cover like I don't know. I got.
We got some text.
Oh, we got some text.
We got some text.
Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And JP, I understand that we have some text, good sir.
We do. 833-687-4448 is the text line number. If y'all want to text in, let us know your thoughts. We're currently talking about this bill that the House passed, making it a Class C felony for doctors who trans kids under 18. Kenny from Elkmont says you have to be 18 in most states to get a tattoo. Some states 16 with parental consent. In California, you must be 18, period. Parental consent cannot override that, but they want children to be able to have their bodies surgically altered. No, no, no.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say. The words would not come out.
Mike from Florence says, I remember when parents went postal when their kids came home with pierced ears. I can imagine my son when he was a kid coming home as my daughter.
No. Ugh. Does anybody remember us reading from the communist book?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Brad from Crimestone County says, let me see if I understand the Congresswoman. Locking up people who mutilate children, creepy. Mutilating children, totally not creepy.
Oh, yeah. Good point, Brad.
Let's see. So we're talking about how we leave parties earlier. Oh. Connor from Huntsville. Okay, well, first we were talking about y'all's conversation with people who probably disagree with y'all politically and how it was still y'all are able to still get along. Connor from Huntsville said, one side seems to be able to compartmentalize between politics and personal. The other side, their politics is their personality, and it consumes them so good on you for being able to compartmentalize those conversations, but good luck in general. But then he says, if you're going to go ghost, at least find the host and say thanks a lot.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, that's good.
But we did. I mean, we did.
Did we?
Well, I mean, we talked before we left.
No, that's a good word.
Because we came in as a crew. So I'll take my parting.
No, you're right.
Sayonara.
Okay.
With our friend as our friends as for the crew,
Okay.
Team.
What was Connor's point before that? Oh, that compartmentalize. Yeah, I think I feel like our side is so much better at just going with the flow. Like, okay, I get it. We're not threatened by people that have different opinions. Like, we're not going to play along. Does that mean 1 minute?
No. I was just saying right on.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
I was like, you've never done that before. I don't know what that means.
I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. And so, but his point about their politics is their personality. That's really sad.
Well, the reason why our side isn't threatened because we know we have the truth. If if you're fighting for lies and up against the truth, then you're constantly threatened because you feel like you have to prove that you're correct. When you know that the truth is on your side, then you're safe, you're secure. You don't have to. The truth, it's the truth. The truth can fight for itself. So when you're constantly having to be on the offensive and defensive and scrambling, then that's because they're not on the side of truth. I mean, that's the basis of it with everything.
Yeah. You're not going to argue your way into an agreement with somebody. You just have to be able to go, okay, well, I'm not going to convince you. It's not my job. If you ever get into it with somebody, it is just go examine the facts for yourself and then let's have a conversation. I mean, it's really simple.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be hard. Flailing and yelling and stomping your feet and getting angry. It just tells me you've lost and you really don't have any backing for your claims.
Especially when you say, well, we don't even know what truth is.
Truth is subjective.
Yes, we do. There's objective truth and subjective. Don't get me started.
Dustin from Hillsborough has a really good text. He said, I thought the libs believed we only care about the kids before they were born.
That's a
good point.
It's a good point.
Saying, the libs only care about preborn babies and they don't care about, postborn babies, but we care about the life of a baby from conception all the way through.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We need another cookie for that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Any other texts?
That's all the good ones. We got 833-687.
Are there bad ones?
Well, no, I mean, there's just some, who is one of them, Brad from Crimestone said, wait, Dale Jackson is capable of having a deep conversation? Shock emoji.
Dale, he probably wouldn't like us saying it.
Dale's a great guy.
He's actually a nice guy.
He really is.
But I mean, no, he's really mean and scary.
It's terrible. Ignore him.
And yeah, I mean, like Ugh.
Just listen to him, but don't befriend him. No, he's great.
Don't say it too many times.
Okay, that's all. I'm not saying.
You're gonna ruin his image.
DJ, I'm not saying it anymore.
DJ.
Dale Jackson.
Oh, I was like, I thought we were back to JT.
JT, DJ. Tomorrow on PJ.
Hey, that was my old car's name.
All right, we'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP doing all the things in the break. But JP, see, I got that right.
You did.
DJ.
See, now we're in your head about it, so you got to think before you say it every time.
I mean, guys, I just,
We've been together long enough. You should know his name.
I do know his name. I just yesterday.
Say my name.
Say my name. What's the breaking news that you have for us?
So apparently, this is Fox News is reporting that a suspect has been officially ID'd by officials, and a manhunt is now underway. The name has not been released to the public. It says law enforcement has identified a person, and a search for that individual is now officially underway. But
this is for the Brown University.
This is for the Brown University shooter, who has been at large for days, way too long. But here's the caveat. Authorities believe that there's a possible connection between the deadly mass shooting at Brown University and the slaying of an MIT professor, which happened on December 15th. It says authorities are digging deeper into what looks like a chilling connection between the Brown University massacre and the brutal slaying of MIT's top fusion expert, Nuno Loureiro. Just days after two students were gunned down at Brown in a rampage that still got the shooter on the loose, Loureiro turns up riddled with gunshot wounds in his own home. And they said that this took place only 50 miles away from Brown University. So I don't know what evidence they have that there's a connection, but it looks like this guy literally committed the shooting at Brown, got in the car, went to, and first of all, he had to know where this guy lived, Nuno Loureiro. So what's the motive behind that guy and why he wanted him killed? But this just shows that this was targeted all along, because if it was just a random, I'm going to walk into Brown and just start shooting, he already had planned in his head a specific second victim. So that makes me believe the first victim or victims had to have been targeted as well, with Ella being the VP of the Young Republicans at Brown. So there's a lot of speculation about if this was a targeted attack or not. I think if the guy already had a second victim lined up, then I'm thinking that he targeted Ella because she's a Republican Christian conservative.
I heard last night that Jack Posobiec was saying just that very thing, that from very high level sources, that's what he posted late last night, like targeting very likely. So this is going to be interesting to find out what the connection is between all of it. Very interesting for a police department to, did y'all look into the absolute nonsense and beliefs of the people at the Providence Police Department and that kind of shadowy, weird, I don't know if it was a police chief or the chief of security at Brown. Did you see those guys?
Mm-mm.
There's a lot wrong with this whole situation. One of them didn't believe in policing. I think it's the same guy who got fired from a previous university job because he got a vote of no confidence, and then Brown hired him. And then you still have the story with it was a police chief whose brother ran the largest cartel on the East Coast. So you've got a lot of people who should not be in charge of this, and yet they are. We found out that they did indeed have cameras because somebody took a picture of that classroom just, probably last year at some point. So you can see there are cameras everywhere. But as you said in your report earlier, they were disengaged because they wanted to do what they wanted to do without being held accountable. This is unbelievable. Yeah, they wanted to raise holy hell and didn't want to be held accountable. What would you do if you were the parents of the kids who were injured or killed?
Well, I mean, even if you weren't, why would you put the cameras up for a reason, security. Why in the world, if a bunch of Yahoo kids ask you to take them down, they demanded we take them down so they could protest without fear of repercussions. What? You like adults, and this is the problem across the board. Adults have stopped being adults.
Yep. It's
why your generation screwed, because we failed you in so many ways. And it's really sad. And you watch these press conferences, which I hate to even call them that. They're bumbling idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. And now they haven't released the name.
Yeah. So why not release the name?
That's what I don't understand.
Get all the citizens, the private citizens on the case too.
What if that's your roommate and you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
hey, he's right here, but y'all won't tell me the name, so I don't know it.
Hey, maybe this guy's family member, you know, who is a good citizen, sees his name and turns him in. Like, why not? Why not release? I don't understand why they wouldn't release the name. They intentionally put out a statement saying they know a name and that there is a manhunt underway, but then not release the name. Like, that doesn't make much sense.
Did they put out a picture with it? Is it the
There's,
same?
I think they released the same, like, kind of blurry video footage. They may have released one from like a Ring camera. By the way, there was somebody did a side by side of the alleged, the student that they scrubbed from their website, the Free Palestine student that a lot of people were speculating may be the shooter. Somebody on X put a side by side of like one of the Ring camera footages of him walking and an actual footage of him walking, and it's pretty
similar.
Pretty similar. So I don't know. This is all alleged, obviously, but I just don't understand. You're going to release that you have a name and you're looking for him, but you're not going to release the name. That's just, it seems suspicious. Everything about this stinks to high heaven.
Agree.
Like it's just so bizarre and odd. They're not acting like they're acting like they're hiding something while trying to conduct an investigation instead of all hands on deck, get the public involved and actually pursue this guy. I get the vibe they're like hiding something while acting like they're doing an investigation. So I don't know. Hopefully they do have something good enough to do a manhunt and find them. But
don't you think it's weird that people whose ultimate worldview is okay with death is now having to investigate some? Like they're liberals. They're all liberals.
Yeah.
And the cult of entrance, the price that they pay, their sacrament is abortion. So they believe death is okay. Like if you want to kill your child, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. Now you got to go investigate the deaths of like hideous murders of college kids. You don't actually believe in policing. You don't really think that, like you're going to let the bad guys get away with it because you took down your cameras so they could do what they want. You don't actually believe in accountability. You don't. Your actions say you don't. And now you're actually going to have to do what sane adult people want, which is figure out who did it and hold them accountable. This has got to be real hard for them.
I wonder though, if, as you were talking, DJ, if reality's hitting home a little bit for them, if part of why they're not saying much is because they realize they're probably liable and culpable in that. That's a big word. Culpable.
That was good.
In this, because they were definitely negligent in so many ways. And I wonder if they're trying to minimize their exposure. I don't know, but somebody didn't do something right.
The building was old. That's why there were no cameras. You can't put a camera on an old building.
Nope. If that wall is older than 10 years, it won't work.
I don't know. I agree with y'all. It's a non-answer when asked, hey, did you actually take down the cameras when the Free Palestine protesters asked you to? If you said no, that's pretty easy. No, we didn't, because we're not insane. Like if you actually did the right thing, it's pretty easy. And you would actually want to say, no, we didn't actually, because of all the allegations against Brown. That was your opportunity to be like, no, actually, we didn't take down the cameras when they asked. But you give a non-answer. That's kind of an indictment, in my opinion. It's just so sad. It makes you angry because, a Christian conservative family sent their daughter to Brown, which is a prestigious school, to get an education. And she's voicing her Christian beliefs, her conservative beliefs. And not only was she killed for it, but the school, this is their response to one of their own students getting killed and potentially took down cameras beforehand because Palestine protesters asked them to, and maybe that led to why there weren't cameras. Like that's the, like, Brown failed not only Ella but her family for what? The crime of being a Christian, going to a good school to get a good education. And that's enough to get you killed, and not even good enough to find it's just so enraging,
I think we're at the point, and this is scary to say, but it feels like conservative Christians, Republicans, whatever you want to call them, are literally being hunted and killed.
Yep.
And there are still people that are covering for it that don't want to release a name because it's probably a Muslim name or they're dark white.
Yep.
And we don't want to say it because it might be offensive.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay. I have to leave early again today. I know y'all will miss me greatly. I have to go to my 900th Christmas party. So when we come back, we've got a new segment. Today we're calling it the 3 at 3.
Yes.
3 at
tomorrow,
3:30.
3 at 3:30. It's generally going to be the 3 at 4. Okay. But today it's the 3 whenever we want it.
Can I go first?
Well, all right, let's not do it the next segment. Let's do the segment after.
At 3.
Because this next segment is a short segment.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do
I'll
text
the
when we
next
come back?
segment. Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Bet.
We'll kill time.
Bet.
And then 3 at 3:30.
Got it. Producer. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. JP, I understand we have some text.
We do. 833-687-4448 is the text line number if you want to text in your thoughts. We got Paul Bryant from Athens who says, as it's loading, PC scenario for protecting, quote, isolated random attacks or acts of alleged Muslim violence against alleged Jewish or Christians. We wouldn't want to paint Islamists as violent and thus provoke reactionary vigilantism. I think there's a bit of sarcasm in that text.
I think so.
Jeff from Indiana says, I now realize why liberals were not too upset about Biden being incompetent. It's because they are inherently incompetent as well. Anyone who sends their child to Brown University should we think because of the leadership is this stupid? How can you get an education? I figure the rest of it is not good as well.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about these Ivy League schools being like the premier schools anymore.
I'm not sure about schools in general. There are some good, some not. It seems though that the Ivies are extra arrogant. Extra.
Ugh.
You know, I noticed that at my 1 year at Alabama. Even Alabama, we've seen the wokeness in there, with teachers there. So it's even in, so-called conservative Christian areas like Alabama, where you get the sense the teacher is like, how easy is it to just teach? Like, teach the material, do your job, be an effective teacher. There were so many teachers I got the sense of they got to add in their virtue signaling. They got to add in their little twist. It's like, just teach me, dude. Like, I pay a lot of money to go to school here. Just teach me. Just teach me the material I signed up for. You don't have to add your indoctrination. You don't have to add your wokeness, your virtue signaling. So yeah, not even just the Ivy League schools. I agree with Amy Beth. I think it's schools across the board because just that class of educators in general, I think that's how you rise the ranks, is to be like a woke indoctrinator.
I don't think it's a great thing anymore to say, I've been a professor for 30 years. It means you've been in an ivory tower out of touch with reality for a long time. And if that tracks, in all of our experience, even when I was at Sanford, but I had liberal professors, but it wasn't like it is today, where it's clearly Marxist ideology. And they even say so when they take surveys amongst professors. I don't think it's such a good thing anymore to say, unless you are a classic liberal, your kids don't know what side you fall on when it comes to politics, and you just teach the material because there's honor in that. But that seems to also have gone out the window. I'm super skeptical of all the things these days.
So, did y'all ever see What is a Woman? The Matt Walsh.
I've seen the clips. I haven't watched it in its entirety.
It's good.
I've seen the high points.
Y'all won't be surprised, but in it is a University of Tennessee professor.
Rocky Top.
It's hysterical
Go
in
Vols.
the worst ways. But my alma mater, like, it's really sad. Tennessee is actually pretty liberal, and the town itself, Knoxville, has changed quite a bit. But it's shocking. I think it started at the Ivy Leagues, and then it just kind of trickles down, and it's like a virus. It's like the flu or COVID. It just spreads, and it's icky and it's gross. And I'm looking at Auburn. Auburn has so many great things going for it, and then there are times like they hired that was it the drag queen that was really targeting kids online? It was the weirdest thing.
Oh, yes.
I think he got fired from a middle school, and then they hired him.
He got fired from Auburn Middle School for basically transing kids online, and then Auburn hires him. And I think he just got fired from Auburn or something else.
When they brought it up, like when they were pressed on it, then they did, why'd you leave? How did he slip through the cracks? It's like them protecting their own, like the educators protecting their own of creeps, It's frustrating. Phil from Chattanooga also says, with the GPA required to be a Brown University student, you would think there would be at least one student that could give a description of the perpetrator.
Well, to answer his question, the kids did, but they reported that the police didn't even go in and interview them for days. So it's on the investigators.
Well, that was actually that clip from in the montage of the chief saying, well, we don't even actually know all the students that were there. We're sending out emails. So you haven't even interviewed the 50-something other students that were there?
Fire everybody involved with this.
They won't be fired.
I know you're right, but it makes me have like maybe a little hope that maybe somebody will get fired. Maybe an X-ray laser beam will be pointed on this police department, the mayor, the ding dong president of Brown. What? They deserve to be fired. How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah.
I think that's an understatement. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have Ella Cook. I think her body's coming back to Birmingham today. Her parents have to go through that. And these buffoons can't even release a name or find out who was in a room.
Well, it's hope. The hope is that now that they have a name, that they can actually do a manhunt. But they'll have to show me why to believe that they're able to do that.
There you are. Welcome to the dark side.
Welcome to the cynicism side.
Yeah, it stinks to get older. You realize it's not all good. Not
I
everybody.
mean, you already are 58, so
I am 58.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm actually older than the both of y'all. Yeah. 58.
Yeah,
you are. Oh, I see that you looked at me extra like, is that
I didn't want to say it because I don't want to put you on the spot. Yeah.
She's like 26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the music?
It is.
Did I just do that right on cue?
You did.
Look at that.
She's a genius.
I'm so good. Okay, I got to do my story. I'm actually switching it totally up. The 3 at 3:30, I'm going to go first. I got 2 new stories. Maybe we'll get to all 3 of mine. I don't know. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Okay, everybody be honest. Hold on before I do that. Pause. So we're going to do the 3 at 3:30. Now, maybe tomorrow or on Monday, we don't know. It's going to actually be the 3 at 4. But because Party Girl here has to go, we're doing it at 3:30. But here's what I really want to know. When y'all were in school, is this my phone going off? Whose phone's talking?
it's my phone. Because I've got to do my story because then I have to go. I'm making sure President Trump doesn't say any bad words.
Okay. Were y'all the kids in class when the teacher said, I want to read? Did you go me?
No, I tried to hide.
Did you really?
Oh, I tried to hide.
Were there other things you're like me?
I was the me kid. Not in
You
high school.
Were
though.
you really?
Well, when I was a
Okay.
kid in high school, I
I
wasn't.
just needed to know. I was only the reader. I just wanted to
Are
read.
you insinuating that I am now the me person?
No, I'm just asking because it was funny.
Pretty sure.
It made me think, did you say me?
I did like to sit on the front row, but I didn't me.
Okay. All right. Just needed to know.
So I've changed. Okay. What is the 3 at 4 though?
So the 3 at 4 is a little bit like the 5. Okay. This is the best way I can explain
Which
it.
the 5 is what?
The 5 is on Fox and we're never home to watch it anymore. But they each have a question based on a news story, and they're the ones that moderate the discussion about one story. Then after they do that, talk around the table, the next person, the next break comes back and they present the story, question, story, questions, discuss, the end.
Pause. And
Does that sound good?
scene.
Sounds
Sweet.
good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I have a story.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna just play this clip, old school. I'm gonna hold it up to the microphone.
This is going to drive JP crazy.
Well, I mean, it's too late.
No,
Look,
no, no,
I had
it's-
to make cookies and do all these things today. So
Cookies were delicious.
here we go. Well, it's 2 minutes long. Well, maybe we'll just get to the point.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just get to the point.
Okay.
Facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered. In some cases, this may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers. And they cause tremendous problems. This can do it in a much lesser way, can make people feel much better that are living through tremendous pain and problems. 40 states and multiple U.S. territories have already recognized the use of medical marijuana. This reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us.
Okay, you get the point. President Trump just gave a press conference. Hold, please, while I pause it. To reclassify marijuana. Why in the world does he keep talking? I mean, Trump won't even go away on my phone. It will now be a Schedule 3, placing it in the same category as Tylenol with codeine. Prescription painkillers have legitimate uses, but also can do damage. I promise to be the president of common sense. That's exactly what I am doing. Is this common sense?
No.
Do
Well-
y'all think marijuana is safe and unproblematic?
Okay, so here's my stance on it. I obviously understand that medical marijuana is very beneficial to some people with like Alzheimer's, I believe Parkinson's as well. And it can be targeted under supervision in the correct way, I guess, to help treat some of these issues. So I understand that. However, I think marijuana is awful for you, especially young kids. You know, prefrontal lobe development, it's not good for you. And I think a lot of people are not fully aware of the psychosis and the paranoia and how much it is not only just an entryway, but it in itself, how much damage marijuana does. So I'm very hesitant to start the declassification process because that starts a slippery slope, because then you declassify it even more, then declassify it even more. Then why don't we just legalize it, So I don't want to start that slippery slope. I understand the argument as to why, targeted medical marijuana is beneficial. So maybe this can help some people, but I hate opening that door to start declassifying because it's just going to keep going and going. And then I hate going anywhere. I was in downtown Birmingham yesterday and it's like, it just reeks of weed. I hate this. This sucks. Like I hate to even be around it. So I don't like starting that process, but I understand the reasoning. I'll say that.
So I think I agree. It's the first of all, it's already prescribed. My husband can prescribe it. It's Marinol. So opening the door as if you don't have access already is dumb. It's not true. It does steal your will to live. It lowers your sperm count. There, I said it.
It does.
It is bad for your heart. You have cyclical vomiting syndrome. Scromiting
You
is
taught me that.
exactly what it is. It's scromiting. And parents are like, I don't know why my son or daughter just throws up cyclically and they're sick and we got to go get them checked out. And why are they taking really hot showers? Because they're coming down because they were stoned. And the reason they're throwing up is because they're trying to take themselves off of it and they can't. And so then they start vomiting and then they go see my husband. Marijuana use is so incredibly common. We don't even bat an eye anymore. But if you look just at the facts, I don't even want to hear it, zip it, nothing from you. I don't want to hear it. If you look strictly at the medical facts of what doctors are dealing with heart disease, with low sperm count, with cyclical vomiting, scromiting, hot showers coming down, and you've completely lost your will to live, how can we say that this is good when it already exists and it's called Marinol? And if you need it, you can get your hands on it. Also, we were downtown. It stinks. I've been out to Oregon, been out to Washington State. Just look at the destruction that it's wreaked on people's lives. Just look. And also, you land in, for example, Medford, Oregon, or you drive up. We drove up to Seattle. It smells worse than skunk.
Yeah.
And so the people that are driving and you pass, like, you can just feel the aroma, like just blasting out of the car. And you think, how are you even okay enough to drive? I loathe it. I think this is a horrible idea. Boo.
If you watch that, but you can also tell in his cadence when he's speaking, Trump doesn't normally need notes or, I mean, he has a teleprompter, but he rarely pays attention to it seems.
Yeah.
He's reading that. So somebody is lobbying and putting him up to this. I mean, Trump doesn't even drink. He is not, he understands addiction. He doesn't like chemical changes in his body. Well, the Diet Coke and the fillet of fish probably do a lot, but this is somebody advising him. And I'm not surprised that we're here. And I will say, like my mom had brain cancer. She died 6 years ago, I guess. Luckily, she was not in any pain, but towards the end of her life, if she had been, I would have been calling every high school, college kid I knew to find her something. However, this is a path to nowhere good. I mean, you look at what has happened in all these other places that have legalized it. Now it's like free fentanyl at the gas station on the corner, and you can't even pick something off the ground because there might be meth or fentanyl. It's just, it doesn't end well. It doesn't, the psychosis, and especially in young people, there's no need for this. I'm with you, Abs. There is absolutely no need for this. There are alternate ways that you can get people that actually need medical marijuana. You can get them what they need. This is just one step closer to normalizing, legalizing, and I think it's not the right move.
Oh, my word.
But I think we all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Are we getting to the others this segment? Or are we doing marijuana this segment?
How about, because we're almost to break, we'll just close out with marijuana and then we can do our segments after
Wait,
this.
I'm going to have to tune in. I'm going to have to listen.
You really are.
Okay, I got to go.
We got to go and take a break.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. I'll miss y'all.
Have fun.
See you tomorrow. I got to leave early tomorrow to go to another party.
Allison.
I know.
Well, can you at least take pictures of the orange rolls?
Oh, I love orange rolls.
Have you ever had I'm going to put one in my pocket for you.
Please.
I
really do.
Yeah. Well, they're like, can you say Nazis?
They're like, it's like, they're so
like
good. It's
Nazis if you try and take food out of there, but I'm going to take my big purse.
I'm pretty sure if anybody can take food out, it's this one.
I got you. I got you, DJ. Don't you worry. Y'all have fun. See you on the other side.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with the ghost of Allison Sinclair and JP. So JP will press pause on that convo. I'm making notes so I don't forget, because there's some things I've learned about from my husband in a great book that I read a couple years ago that I want to share with people who are convinced that we are fools. So there you go. All right. What's your story, good sir?
All right. So my story, I'm trying not to go on a rant on this one. I probably will. But
Go on a rant.
The U.S. Capitol replaced the statue of Robert E. Lee with teen civil rights icon Barbara Rose Johns, who Barbara Rose Johns was a teenager who led a protest to desegregate her high school in 1951. It was in R.R. Martin High School in Farmville, Virginia. So if you've been to the Capitol, you know that each state has a statue of, like, there's like Alabama's has Rosa Parks. Each state has their statue, of their hero of their state. And Robert E. Lee was Virginia's. And he was just replaced as Virginia's statue in the Capitol with this Barbara Rose Johns. And this is the stuff. See, okay, this may be a hot take. Okay, this is one of my passionate takes that some people may disagree with, but I think if you've got stake in America, and when I say that, like, for example, my great however many grandfather on my dad's side died fighting for the Confederacy. He was a POW actually of the Civil War, and he's buried in the sticks of Alabama. I think he's actually in Gordo County. My great grandfather, however many greats on my mom's side, fought for the Union. He was John Kemmerling, I think his name was. He was in the Pennsylvania 22nd Regiment. He died in 1864 in the Civil War. His regiment actually pursued Robert E. Lee all the way to Appomattox Courthouse. And so in my dad's side, Tillman was the one who was a POW. So, like, I feel like I got stake in America. My ancestors died for it, and on both sides of the Civil War. My ancestors have been here since the 1600s. I noticed a trend of the people who come to America and demonize Robert E. Lee and the such, the Confederacy or the Confederates like Stonewall Jackson. What's your stake in America? Like, what you feel it's your place to come and lecture Americans about Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson and such, and replace them with, could anybody tell me who even the people who fought to put Barbara Rose Johns in the Capitol, could you even tell me who this lady was? Or did you think we need to replace Robert E. Lee? Let's Google some random civil rights person. There's one from Virginia. We'll do that one. I guarantee you that's what it was. But let me pull up some quotes, actually. These are former presidents talking about Robert E. Lee and, not too long ago. So here's one. Theodore Roosevelt. General Robert E. Lee has left us the memory not merely of his extraordinary skill as a general, his dauntless courage and high leadership in campaign and battle, but also of that serene greatness. Let's see another one. Dwight D. Eisenhower. General Robert E. Lee was, in my estimation, one of the supremely gifted men produced by our nation. He believed unswervingly in the constitutional validity of his cause. Jimmy Carter. Robert E. Lee was a man who understood the values of a region which he represented. He was never filled with hatred. He never felt a sense of superiority. He led the Southern cause with pride and, yes, but with a sense of reluctance as well. So I can go on and on and on. All from our nation's history, ever since the Civil War, our presidents have revered Robert E. Lee as a man of great religion. He was a Christian man. It's noted his struggle to even side with his state when they seceded the Union, but he was a man of great nobility. And what he represented was a nation in reconciliation after the Civil War. The Robert E. Lee urged his men to surrender their arms and urged the South to reconvene into the Union. They accepted defeat. So then the Union recognized that Robert E. Lee fought with great courage, bravery. The Confederates fought with great courage and bravery, and they honored the bravery that they even fought with without even necessarily supporting the cause of seceding from the Union. And that's what helped reconcile the nation back together, because the Civil War was a war amongst brothers, like literally. And so the ability to come back together after the Civil War while honoring the South fought with great bravery. Robert E. Lee was a great man of nobility. We're going to honor him while bringing y'all back into America. That was kind of like an understood, like, okay, both sides. They even had reunions where Confederates and Union members went to Gettysburg and shook hands across the line of where Pickett's charge was. So this is just a new phenomenon recently. It started in 2020 when they started tearing down statues. Why do Americans with, I say again, stake in America? Your ancestors have been here and fought in the Civil War. Why are we letting people who don't have it, like AOC, for example, and others, Rashida Tlaib, slander Robert E. Lee and take away his statues, and because it's an attack on America, because it's American, reverence for Robert E. Lee. They're trying to destroy it from within. But it's just stuff like that where I don't understand why nobody gets a backbone to say, actually Americans, like Americans, we've sort of come together in this agreement, reconciliation. You're not just going to wreck our history, because it doesn't stop with Robert E. Lee. It goes to George Washington, Jefferson, because they own slaves. It's on and on and on. So I guess the main crux of my rant is why are Americans allowing our forefathers to be torn down and stomped over? It's just not right, and it makes my blood boil, because, like I said, my ancestors on both sides of the Civil War did not die for that.
So if we look at Europe, we've had the opportunity to travel, right, JP? All of us have. Many of you listening have. And you stand in the Colosseum and you think of the savagery that happened there, just the Colosseum alone. If you've been to Turkey, you know that just horrible, just battles happen there. I mean, you go all over Europe, they were savages there. And yet they're able to maintain the monument that is the Colosseum, and they left it up. And you walk around and you learn the history of what happened there. You can go to, is it Hadrian's Wall? Like, you can go to the place where the leader trolled the Jews and took them back and renamed renamed lands to troll the Jews. Like, you can see all the history over there. And they're able to live with the history because they know you can learn from the history. Everything doesn't fit in a museum. But standing in the Colosseum, if anybody has reason to be upset, it's the Christians who were torn apart by wild animals.
Yeah.
It was a Christian monk who walked into the Senate one day and said, this should not be. He was killed before he could leave the forum. But that was the last day that Christians were torn to shreds by wild animals. So I don't understand why we don't do the same thing in America and allow ourselves to learn from history. They don't use history as a weapon in Europe. They use it as a tool to understand we're not going to do this again. Although they're doing it to themselves again with the, with Islam. We're just going to leave that there. But you come from Europe with their savagery over to the United States. And yes, slavery was a blot and stain on our history. There is no question. I don't often talk about this. My birth father was Black. I can look into my history and I can see where I came from. But I can also know that you're not going to use that as a weapon forever.
Yeah.
It is small-minded people who use it as a weapon forever. This is one more example of that. And oh, by the way, in the religion of liberal, progressive, extreme ideology, there is no grace and there is no forgiveness.
Exactly.
We've got to stop doing this. This is worthless and it's a waste of time.
Agreed. And it's time for a break.
Yes, sir, it is.
We'll be right back on the other side. Don't miss it. This is Rightside Radio with JP and Amy Beth. We'll be right back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. I'm answering my daughter who wanted to know if we have hairspray. So, okay, JP.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. So we've had quite the day today. Your montage was super great. We did the latest on Brown University and the update there. I'm happy that they have a suspect. I don't know. We still don't know the name. We know it's taken way too long, but 2 families have to bury their children. Actually, and a third family has to bury their adult husband, father, son, whoever.
Mhm.
This is a tragic situation. So we talked about that. We talked about this crazy pant woman on the floor of the house discussing the fact that doctors are not going to be allowed to mutilate children anymore. She's unhinged about that, which is kind of unbelievable. And then we started our news segment. Tomorrow it's going to be, or Monday, depends on, we have a lot to do tomorrow. The 3 at 4. Okay. Topic, discuss, topic, discuss, topic, discuss. See, there we go. Here's my topic. And then after this, we will go and read some of your texts because do you want to talk about the press pause and then read the text? I'll let you decide.
Oh, no, I think we go into your story.
Okay.
And,
Story. And
on
then,
text
because
on
I
the
had a
side.
few thoughts that I noted because we were getting text kind of coming in. So I was listening to some teachers last year at about this time. And they were talking about the fact they were mocking some of the boys in their classroom. And these were little boys. These were under, I don't know what grade. They were not in 6th grade. It was maybe 5th grade, could have been 4th. Like, I don't remember the age. But they were mocking the little boys because they were not on their meds that day. And the meds were whatever they're giving kids these days for ADHD. And they were like, Miss So-and-so, I can't sit still. And the other teacher was like, I know, they were talking about them like they were wild animals.
Yeah.
First of all, I think we do school wrong.
Yeah.
School's not made for children, let alone boys. I think boys need to get out and play. I think we lock them up and schools look like prison.
Yep.
After homeschooling my kids and teaching them that the world is your laboratory, all of it is for learning, not just one cold, yellow cinder block classroom that smells mildly of breath mints and cheeseburgers. But here, tater tots, whatever's wafting down from the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Although I do miss Pizza Square Day.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
Michelle Obama took that away from me.
But she did. And I was in school with my kids and I would have lunch with them and I'd see the slop that they like plopped on their plate. And I thought, we're paying for this.
Yeah.
This is shameful. Meanwhile, they can eat whatever they want in their fresh little garden. But I was listening to the way the teachers were talking about the boys specifically that weren't on their ADHD meds. And I was verklempt. Because, of course, people would try to get our kids on ADHD meds back in the day. And you think, really? So here again, science is the only thing that can fix these kids. So a formal school principal just said the quiet part out loud on camera. Schools are drugging 6.4 million children for the crime of acting like children. Now, mind you, we took away discipline in the schools. Okay, so that's gone. And you have no basis for morality, so who cares how they act? You took that away. But here's the pipeline. This is from the text. Boys show natural energy and curiosity. Yes, Lord, and hallelujah. Classrooms with 30 kids can't be managed. Teachers initiate ADHD referrals. Parents are told he can't learn without the medication. The child is drugged into compliance. He says we are chemically restraining normal childhood behavior because schools can't accommodate human development. Diagnosis rates vary 300% between states, proving this isn't biology, It is subjective control. And let me also say that shouldn't we look at kids who are on ADHD meds or any of the other meds and see if that is a natural flow into pot?
Yeah.
Alcohol? Like if you learn from an early age that science is the only thing that can fix you, aren't you going to spend the rest of your life medicating yourself? So now 11% of all American children are labeled ADHD. A 7-year-old who can't sit motionless for 6 hours isn't sick, he says. The system forcing him to sit still is sick. This is a former principal admitting the system is chemically restraining normal childhood behavior. Is this, he asks, child abuse? Or is it education as usual? As a young man, what say you?
Well, I agree completely with the fact that ADHD meds are way overprescribed to young boys. I remember actually, even when I was growing up, there were friends of mine. Well, let me first say this. I think ADHD is real, and I think some kids really suffer from it. And, some kids will genuinely need some sort of medication because their ADHD is so out of control. I think it is extremely overprescribed because I would have friends that I knew were not ADHD. Like, they were just normal boys. Like, they were my friends, and I interacted with them all day. They were just normal, energetic kids. And I remember, them being put on ADHD meds, some of them. And I'm like, why and then I would think, well, I'm no different than him. I couldn't sit still as a kid. I was the go to practice right after school, baseball, basketball, football. I was active all year round. I was one of those kids. I couldn't sit still in class, and I couldn't sit still, at home. And I would start to think, do I have ADHD? And then I would think, well, I don't want to get put on meds, so I'm not gonna, even say anything. But I even noticed it as a kid, like with some of my friends being put on ADHD meds. I was thinking, you're just normal. Like, I feel like I'm the same way as you are. But, I was blessed in my elementary school. I mean, we would do PE and it was like the Super Bowl every day. We were doing tackle football.
Yep.
And me and my friends, there'd be skirmishes. We'd get pissed and we'd like fight, and then it'd be over and we'd go to class. So like I was able to get it out of my steam or get it out of my system. But I think it's an attack on boys because they're trying to tame them and they're trying to get rid of their natural, they're just their natural personality as men. But I think society as a whole is going towards that way of men don't need to be men. Men need to be calm, because if men aren't calm, then they're going to speak out about certain things. They're going to stick up for their kids that they want to mutilate. They want to, they're not going to allow drag queen story hour. They're not going to allow a lot of things. So if we can get that going from when they're kids and start to get them on the meds, like you talked about, maybe that's a gateway to other self-destructive medication. So I agree with that completely. It's an attack on men, but they start it as young as possible.
They do start it as young as possible. And honestly, when I heard these people talking about it, it hurt. My heart hurt because I thought, this is wrong. Like, we've gone about this all wrong. But you know who's laughing all the way to the bank? Big Pharma.
Big Pharma.
They're laughing all the way to the bank. School doesn't care. I don't know if teachers get any sort of kickback. I wouldn't think so for making those referrals, but you have to have people for them to refer to.
Yep.
So whoever they're getting referred to, they're happy. But if I hear another woman tell me, I'm sorry, we don't have a cough button.
I should have reached over and stuff.
If I hear another adult woman tell me that it's their ADHD kicking in, because I'm going to just say something controversial. So I guess it was a German doctor who invented the diagnosis just so this mother would go away. And he said he invented the diagnosis. I don't even know that I fully agree with it. I think we need to spend a whole lot more time outside. We need to spend a whole lot more time off of our TV, off of our stupid phones, in nature, reading books with our friends and family. Are we so different as human beings than 100 years ago? They would have laughed if you would have said, I've got ADHD. Maybe you have it because we aren't doing the good things we used to do.
Yep.
But I have people that I'm not like really friends with, but I hear them talk about their ADHD and I just hang my head in shame. And I'm like, stop.
First of all,
You're not focused. Just write your day down in a notebook. Like
Yeah.
take notes on things you want to do and then do it. And if you don't get it done, that's okay. You're an adult. Guess what? You can do what you want to do. Work life wise, home life wise, like you can do what you want to do. But stop with that. I think it has been a scam. I think there are people who do struggle, but the rate at which we prescribe is unreal. It's implausible. And I think it's a crock. And I wish that we could figure this out because starting with the little boys, I think you guys feel it the most. And that as a parent, I think is very unfair.
Well, it's not even a bad thing. You have ADHD. That makes you you. You're like, that's
right.
That's
You're
how
right.
that's how God made you.
Yeah.
You know,
you've got some extra energy.
So why are we turning kids into zombies and not being themselves? Like I said, I understand if it's so bad you can't even listen to somebody talk for more than 10 seconds and you need something to just help you to focus. That's one thing. But the overprescribe for any kid just because their personality is not set for being in a classroom all day, like you're making that's you. That's your personality.
Right.
That's how God made you. It's not a bad thing. It's not well, you need to be fixed. You know,
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah,
it is. It is a problem in search of someone to throw that problem upon.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a cycle, and it's a solution in search of a problem.
Exactly.
And the kids are the problem,
and they're making money off of them.
and they're making a lot of money off of them. And parents are like, "Yeah, I think at this Christmas time, my hope is that we kind of slow down and consider." But that story really got me fired up because I feel it. I had girls first and then my son, and I felt like I needed to go back and apologize to all the mothers of boys I judged because boys are delightful, girls are delightful, but you're different.
Yes.
And you need different things.
Yeah. As I grew up with a little sister, that's true.
I'm like, what do you mean? Don't touch that. And touching. Like, oh my gosh, it's okay. That's what you said.
That's how God made you.
How God made you. We should kind of revel in that instead of bottle it up.
Yeah, I agree. Great topic.
So, listen, we got text when we come back. We're going to revisit a conversation and we're going to talk about Trump's address. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with JP. Allison is at her next to last Christmas party of the season. JP and I are, however, finishing up our 3 at 3:30, but we're still talking.
It's 4.
Because
It's almost
there's
4:30.
so much to talk about. JP.
Yep.
We have text.
We do.
We want to do some.
833-687-4448 is the text line number if you want to let us know your thoughts. Keith from Huntsville says, are the ADHD kids really learning if they're stoned on ADHD drugs while being taught?
You know what? Isn't that the point? Like, you're a genius. No, they're not. Think about it. You're stoned. So how are you going to remember what you learned?
Yep.
Then when you come down off of whatever you've taken, you got to take more. So you got to get drugged again. So what are you learning? I have to be drugged in order to learn.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to forget what I learned. And then I'm probably going to fight with my parents because I want to run around and like get my energy out. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a great, great take.
Lisa from Huntsville says, my son's teachers wanted to put him on ADHD medication, and I stood firm and said no. His doctor didn't even think he needed it. Boys are not little girls. They don't sit still. Also, they smell like Axe, BO, and like feet at a certain point. But gosh, I do love them.
They are great. I think that's the other offshoot of it, though, isn't it? Where you learn that if they're not drugged and they misbehave, then we're just going to dislike them.
Yeah, exactly. And they got
that's a shame.
Jenkins from Sneed says, I feel like ADHD for the most part is a hoax. If ADHD is anything, it is a superpower, not something that needs to be medicated.
I mean, do we have the best listeners or do we have the best listeners?
I agree. And Adam from Athens actually said the same thing. ADHD is a superpower. What does it give you? Times of complete hyperfocus, calm during chaos, and excess energy. Yes, there are times when you have a hard time sitting still, but the good outweigh the bad.
I mean, my husband would probably say, and I don't know that we even believe in ADHD, he would say that I'm a little bit like that because I can't sit still, but I do carry a notebook. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And I write in it all day long of the things I want to get accomplished. So I keep myself on task. That's how I do it.
Joe from Indiana says, I don't know about now, but in Indiana in the 90s, a diagnosis of ADD/ADHD yields increased welfare benefits.
And there it is.
Yeah.
It's just run through with money.
Allie from Athens says, the book is called The War on Boys, and it's written by Christina Hoff Summers. It backs up every single one of your points from a scholarly perspective. And then she says, as a homeschooling mom before homeschooling was cool, I would teach my red-blooded boys spelling words by doing jumping jacks that corresponded with one jump for each letter. I fought successfully to keep him off of ADHD meds, and I have never regretted that. I know that it cannot be denied that food makes a huge difference in all of this as well. You cannot eat chemicalized food and have your brain not be affected. One last thing, there's a seminal book that strengthened me greatly entitled, that's it, The War on Boys by Christina Hoff Summers.
You know, I'm always looking for the next book to read.
Sounds like a good one.
I need to bring back the book club and or book reviews.
Yeah.
That would give me an outlet for my energy. Okay. I love it. Thank you for sharing that book.
Allie from Athens is a great book reference.
Oh man. Okay. We'll just trade them back and forth. But it's true. When I was homeschooling and they could run around and have fun, it was those were our happiest days. I think, still we have a great time, but as kids, you just learn your kids, you see them in a whole different light. You learn what a crock school is for the most part. I'm sorry. I think it is. I think we've dumbed ourselves down. We've wrangled the spirit of children, and it shouldn't have been. And we're paying the price for it now.
Yeah, I agree.
Anywho.
Well, that's all the text we got. 833-687-4448. We got about 30 seconds till the next break. We still got to talk about Trump's address last night and the head fake. We were so convinced it was Venezuela.
How many? We said 3 different things it could have been.
Yes.
Venezuela.
Aliens.
And.
Oh, what was the other one?
What was the other one? Was it? I forgot. Anyway, we thought it was 3 things.
Yes. Yeah, but I think you and I at the end agreed we thought it'd probably be Venezuela. Most people did. I think you and I may have different reactions.
So everybody stay tuned because we're usually the same.
Yeah. But we'll probably split ways on this one. But that's okay. That's what radio's for.
That's right. It makes it interesting. So we'll hear from you and see what you guys think. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back into Rightside Radio. This is JP alongside Amy Beth. Allison is off to her next Christmas party right now, but we're still doing a show. We're still rocking along. We got a caller on the line. That would be Jeff Rowe from Indiana. Jeff from Indiana, how are you doing, bud?
I'd be doing a lot better if I was home, being that I'm just now coming into Nashville.
So usual.
Oh yeah, it seems like I always seem to hit that place this time of day for some reason.
It's awful. Well, what's on your mind today?
You're talking about these kids with on drugs and everything. Though, my wife was a teaching assistant back in the early 2000s there at art grade schools, and basically he's right. Indiana and everything, they want these kids to be have something to take drugs with and everything because they do get extra money for that. And it's just like with a free lunch program. Oh my gosh, we want to sign everybody up for free. If you even come close to qualifying for a free lunch program, you're going to be on it. I mean, that's how we make our money, basically.
It's sad because not only are the kids the lab rats, that's how you make your money, is putting kids on drugs.
Shouldn't that be illegal?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I agree. But it's the over-diagnosing, it's rampant.
When there's money involved for everybody, though, that's what we do, isn't it? This is America, isn't it? Everything's
Capitalism.
about the dollar.
Yeah.
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 Especially government money.
And that's where, if you say anything about it, then it's, oh, well, you're against free market capitalism. No, I'm against kids being drugged when they're kids and not being able to be themselves, and it's hurting them long term. Yeah, I agree. The money aspect of it is so sick. Making money off of drugging kids, essentially.
Yeah. But like when I was in school, we had the special ed kids and had special ed classes. And if you were slow or if you had learning disabilities and stuff like that, you would be in these classes and stuff. And they would not be in the general population because a lot of times they'd be distracting the other kids.
Yeah.
And wouldn't be able to keep up with the work anyway. But when she was doing her assistant work in school and everything, there wasn't no such thing as a different classroom then. They all put them with an assistant in the regular classrooms, and it went as far as even having one kid, I think she said, was basically a vegetable. Laid there and had to have diaper changes, wasn't learning anything, wasn't going to learn anything. But since they, you're supposed to get a public education and everything, they sent them to school, had to, do all this stuff and everything. And that would be distracting too. It was just a very expensive babysitter for the parents, to have a little time away. And she worked with one child that was autistic. And before she started working with him, she actually took time enough to care and make sure that he learned. But he was like in the 4th grade, could not read, but he was very, very smart. He was just socially awkward and autistic, and she got him to read and everything at his grade level before the year was up. Wow. And everything, and he would draw these elaborate pictures and stuff. And like I say, he was a very smart kid, but you had to get it out of him because he was autistic. And the people like that needs to, they need to be in special classes and things, I believe, away from the other children, and have people that can teach them one-on-one. And I don't mind spending extra money on something like that, but when they just drug them up and send them in a classroom in a zombie state, there was no such thing as ADHD whenever I was in school. If they got a little rowdy or whatever, we had this big red paddle on the wall, and that would calm them down or wake them up, whichever they needed.
Wow.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, what, kids can't just sit in the same chair for 6 hours? What's wrong with you? Yeah, no, it's not how it's meant to be.
No, not at all.
I agree 100%. Well, Jeff, I know we want to talk about Trump's address real quick before the end of the show, but we appreciate you calling in, and good luck through Nashville, or Crashville, I should say.
Yeah, it's raining too, so it's wonderful here. You all have a good one.
You too. See ya.
See ya.
So, last night, Trump's address. It was a head fake. What did you think?
Well, so I didn't watch it live. I actually haven't watched it in its entirety. I've seen clips, but I've read the synopsis of everything he covered. Um, I'll say this. Okay, I agree with everything he said. I just don't see the point in doing it, and I think him doing it is a bad sign. I
You
think
do?
yes, I agree with I like the warrior dividend, the 1,776 to soldiers. Awesome. I like some of the other stuff he said in general, but I think it's a bad sign. I'll just say it like that. I think if you have to head fake that it's about declaring war on Venezuela and get the media's attention and do an address to the nation to say, like, you have to say the economy's good. You have to say Biden's bad. I'm sick of hearing about Biden, first of all. Like, yes, obviously Biden was awful. Biden let in all these illegal aliens, and that has crushed the housing market. 100% true. I'd kind of prefer to hear a solution instead of constantly hearing about the problem. And he said that there's going to be a solution coming, into the next year. But why do a speech about it before you have a solution ready? So I don't know. Like I said, everything he said is true. I don't think it's a good sign if you have to say it's about, or kind of signal it's about declaring war on Venezuela so that you can get everybody's attention, and then to do that, it gives off like they're worried extremely about the midterms. Like that whole speech essentially is what is normally in a truth post from Trump. Like he literally just gets his phone and just types, and puts out this paragraph, done. It's never really an address to the nation. I feel like an address to the nation is like you do that when you need to, like, hey, we're going to war, or hey, this is, we've been attacked, like serious stuff. I don't like doing addresses to the nation just for political speeches, especially like that one. I don't know. It didn't seem like a good sign, in my opinion.
So I listened to half of it on the way here today, and I think that it was a boss move to commandeer the airwaves because nobody expected that to happen. I did think that was great. I do think that it was his way. And so, a little bit to your point that it may not be a good thing, but I do think that because the media is not going to talk about the good things he has done, it was a way of reminding people, listen, you're hearing stuff right now. You're going to hear stuff always about me. Here's what we've done. We've sealed the border. This is just a list of what he said, broken the grip of woke radicals. We've got a powerful military. We settled war. Specifically, he talked about Iran and Gaza. We've brought the economy back from high prices. He talked about prices under Biden. It was up, the prices of cars were up. Gas was up 30 to 50% higher. Airfare was 31% higher. Groceries were up versus now turkey dinners are down. Wise saying that around Christmas. The price of eggs are down. We're boosting take-home pay. Wages are rising faster than inflation, which is a good thing. But I think the most important thing he said is something I've waited for him to talk about. And maybe I'll find a decent clip to send that in for tomorrow about Obamacare and the subsidies running out and what's going on there. But Trump talked about being able to buy your own health insurance. To me, this is one of the most important things he said. And maybe it's not a good sign. I think it was a good head fake. I think it was good to remind people of what he has done, even as we talked about boo on him with the whole marijuana situation. But being able to buy your own health insurance, perhaps preloading an HSA card, perhaps being able to, and I didn't hear the rest of it, I would like for us to be able to buy insurance across state lines. The monopoly that we have here just in Alabama is unbelievable. They decide so much of what could be. The C-suite executives in healthcare set the prices for the doctors. I will restrain myself for another day for this conversation. That is an important thing that he brought up because people are very worried about health insurance. And I am interested because Republicans have had an answer, but it hasn't been in the pre-programmed Obama way. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you on exchanges. And by the way, we're going to force you to buy it. That's not the Republican way. So I'm going to dig into more of that. But that was the thing that I was like, hallelujah, somebody's talking about healthcare. He's getting rid of or seeking to get rid of the pharmacy benefit managers, which are artificially jacking up the prices of are drugs. I think that's also outstanding. I am going to listen to the rest of it, but that was, to me, my takeaway, other than, like you said, the being excited about the $1,776 bonus going to our soldiers, was a discussion of healthcare and the fact that prices were coming down. We'll have to wait and see. But I think reminding us of what he has done is important. But I will agree with you. You don't have to remind if you're not a little bit worried.
Yeah.
And he had to take the reins and say, here, guys. And that was a good thing.
Well, I think the main part that is concerning to me is if the economy is good, you normally don't have to tell people it's good. So I'll say this. I mean, the gas prices are going down. That's noticeable. I've noticed that. I think the answer to the economy is quite simple, especially for people of my generation. It's deportations, and fast, and a
Yes.
lot of them, because
Agreed.
that is the housing problem, is the illegals who are taking up the houses. That's the main foundational problem. I don't know. I think the sense I got, the clip I saw was, yep, the housing crisis is a problem. We're working on a solution, but it's Biden's fault. And that was kind of it.
Yeah.
I don't
We
know.
need more
it was,
than that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I also think his messaging on the economy has been not too great, because he said that he thinks the affordability crisis is a hoax. He thinks the economy's great. You know, the economy is more than like the stock market. It is wages, it is jobs, it is housing. I think he knows that it's a problem. I don't think they've come up with a solution yet. And I think there's some people obstructing from just mass deporting illegal aliens for whatever reasons. I think you can connect the dots for the reasons people are wanting to obstruct with that. I think it's a lot simpler than it need to be. But if you got to tell people the economy's good, I think that's a bad sign, because I think that shows that they know they're losing the economy messaging war. And like, set aside your own thoughts on the economy, but if Trump feels the need to tell people the economy's good, I think that shows that his administration is worried about the messaging aspect of it. So that's just my thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like presidential addresses for stuff like that. I may be too old school, whatever. But I like for those to be like sacred in a certain extent. Like, it annoyed me when Biden did it from the Oval Office to just about some I don't know, political. I can't remember what it was at the time, but it was like a political rally to the nation. Like, why? And the State of the Union for Biden was a political rally to the nation. Now, I would like for political addresses to be like sacred for that sort of stuff. Like, if you're having to get all of the eyeballs to say the economy's good, that's just a waste of time, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm sure some people may disagree with me, but I'd rather have action than telling people it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll see. I mean, that sounds out of touch. And I do agree with the good things that are happening. That is something they're going to have to figure out right quick. So, okay, JP, we're to the end of our day. So when we come back, maybe a few texts, but really, would you rather?
Would you rather? It's that time again.
It's that time. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm just not even going to use the other earbud. So, everyone, I need to tell you that I almost encountered a cake catastrophe. It is one of our children's birthday tonight. We are going to have dinner as soon as the show is over. But it's always a good idea. I'm just, for the last minute Christmas shoppers out there, just remember when you order things to put it in the cart and then press purchase.
Seems like a
my
crucial
husband
step.
got to pick up the cake. He was like, they don't have your name. Like, what? Ordered it like 5 days ago. I was on this 4 days ago. I ordered it, man. Like, this is what it looks like. I go back to that page because I don't close out all my tabs. See, children, this is why I don't close out my tabs. I can go back and find stuff. And you know what I found? Mom didn't put the cake. Well, I didn't even get it to the cart. I had it all designed, everything ready. I didn't even manage that.
Wait.
So thanks, honey, for averting the disaster. Now we have cake for after dinner. I failed. I failed to even text people I needed to. I just next week can't get here soon enough because I've got a week before Christmas child. We have Christmas, and then we have a week after Christmas.
Oof, that's all.
And my
crazy.
dad, who's the day after that, or 2 days after, one of the children asked me, like, literally when they were teeny tiny babies, please don't ever put their birthday presents in Christmas wrapping. And I promised him when the first one was born, I wouldn't do it. Then he reminded me when the last one was born. I've never done it. I've never put it in Christmas wrapping, but today was almost a complete failure. So
That's okay. It wasn't though. Yeah, my family's the same. My brother is the first week of January. I'm middle of January. My sister's first week of February. My dad is late February.
Oh my
It's just
word.
boom, boom, boom,
I mean,
boom.
just all the things.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm just far enough from Christmas. I mean, I'm still close to Christmas, but I'm just on the edge where you're just a little bit past Christmas to where it's not like back to back.
Well, you're in the post-Christmas letdown, and then you're like, oh, it's my birthday.
Yeah, exactly. I get my presents in birthday or in Christmas wrapping a lot though. My family.
Do you
didn't care.
really?
Yeah, I get the Santa bags, the Santa stuff, but at least they're up front. They're like, we just used it, so we use it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, hey, it's your birthday.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know?
Yeah.
So
You can give it to me without wrapping. I don't care. Okay. A would you rather question. This fits us. Okay. So let me clarify the question first. Oh, well, let me ask the question and then I'll clarify it. Would you rather change the outcome of the last election or get to decide the outcome of the next election? So this isn't talking about this, specific last election, because we'd all say we wouldn't change that. In general, would you rather be able to change the outcome of the last election or get to go and pick the next one?
pick the next one.
That one. See,
You would you change the past?
I'm trying to think because I feel like it's case by case.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair.
If there's levels of severity in terms of bad presidents. I would have gone back and fixed the 2020 election right then.
Yeah.
But if we're in a one that's okay, they're bad, but we can kind of buckle through it, but I really got to make sure the next election is right, then I do that. I guess it depends on how bad the current, the last election was.
Yeah.
That's such a
fair.
politician answer, but I would say more times than not, I'd want to fix the future one.
Yeah.
But there are some, like with Biden in 2020, where I would change it in the past in a heartbeat.
And I would change it to Trump, but I would change it to the Trump from when he first won this time, where he acted like he had changed and he learned his lessons. Now we're back to the what did you actually learn, Trump.
Yeah.
So I would not only change that past, but I would add just the first 6 months Trump.
Yeah.
If I could pick it. But that's a good question.
That is a good question. That fits
I
our
like
show.
that. Yeah, it does. I think we have to force ourselves tomorrow because it's Friday at the end. We got to do lightning round. Would you rather? You have to really just whatever comes to your head, you got to do it.
I got to pick 10 of them.
Like a bunch.
And we just go bam,
and just
bam,
bam, bam, bam. Okay, look, tomorrow's Friday. That means it's Freedom Friday. We have JP on Sports. We have Clown World. Perhaps we'll do a new segment. No one ever knows. There's so much news to talk about. We'll update you on anything that's happened with Brown. But mainly, it's Friday. Thank you for sticking with us. Yes, I can't wait. Literally can't wait. So we'll see you in 21 hours. We'll meet you back here, same time, same bat channel. See you next time.